So, yeah. Seeing as how you've no doubt sussed out how much I've got my finger on the political pulse, at least equal to pretty much anyone out there, I guess the question on everybody's lips right now would have to be, just how exciting was it when Soccer Bro first came to Wonderland back yon? And it's a fine question, for sure. Suitable question for the times. And those who were there will undoubtedly tell you it was reasonably exciting, at least. At least. Goes without saying that, like many provincial towns, Burnley in them days were a place where football and feting were synonymous of a Saturday. But we'd never really seen it on pitch. Certainly not to this level, any road. Specifically not with laser guns and footloose and fancy-free futuristic team uniforms that bore absolutely no relation to the established colour schemes afforded to the international sides featured on this. I think that threw you as much as the on-screen advice regarding skills and violence. As per with this kind of thing, as long as you weren't a complete numpty, the initial opponents were easy enough to figure out. A reasonably foolproof method of sticking a handful in the old 25th century onion bag. But that were only because you were playing states, as a rule, back before they really understood what shape of football were. Meanwhile, regular top stringers like the Italians were another kettle of fish altogether. It's knockabout escapism that would keep football fans busy at the change booth until Tecmo 90 come along at least, and help lay the groundwork for such heady future football feting titles such as Mario Fully Charged, Sega Soccer Slam, and the often criminally overlooked goalkeeping Google-eyed gambling ghosts. Traditional football simulator this was not. And if all that weren't more than enough to constantly remind you that this in no way resembled any rough pixelated form of the beautiful game we all knew and loved, then the frankly outlandish sight back then of England winning a penalty shootout would no doubt hammer that home. Not one for the puerile purists out there, that's for darn tooting. This were, for the purist though, the football fans' football game. Down the other end of the football pitch, we have what is surely the undisputed king of them all in Swass. Or do we? Bear in mind we now live in times where the gargantuan exploits of a plucky band of Burnley-based brethren and their gravel-voiced general are now appreciated by all true football fans throughout the world. Back in the days when such modern day titans were still languishing among those unfit to share the same pitch in big scheme of things, no one liked us. No one liked us. No one liked us. We didn't care. We still don't. And those who misspent their youth, early manhood, or even male menopause, fervently swapping their Amiga discs with unprecedented precision, fingers crossed that their magnificent achievements of taking their local collection of unlicensed misspelled superheroes from grassroots to goal-scoring glory were not wiped from time immemorial, will no doubt be recoiling in horror at the high-def monstrosity now showering the screen. But if you shut it for 2 ticks, before you disappear entirely up your rose-tinted Amiga Aris, let me explain. Yeah, it's not same, is this? But naughty is really, is it? Even if it weren't same, it still wouldn't be same, would it? You know what I mean, don't you? Besides, big doos and little doos, you've more chance of playing this version on 360, haven't you? You've much more chance of giving your FIFA flogging progeny what for on this, as they struggle to compute how so much wonderment can possibly be achieved by using just one button. But while they're thinking about that, think about this. Future FIFA will come and go, year by year into digital dollar diluted diversions, along with Pro Evo maybe, assuming it continues to pull its finger out at long last. And, you know, maybe another boss franchise will come along to duke it out for gold, silver and bronze with them too. Not a frigging crystal ball reader, am I? Regardless of what happens in that regard though, how real it gets along the way, Sensi will always be Sensi. And yeah, I guess if you can be halfway harassed forking out for a cloudy urine yellowed Amiga 500 off eBay, and assuming that dude is still flogging bootleg discs over at Clitheroe Car Boot for £1 a pop, then fill your boots. Hecky Pac-Man, emulate it even if you're that fussed. Or get over yourselves and get this fired up. Practice on your Todd till all that docile, dormant muscle memory gets you top binning it from all over gaff, and then take it to the younger generation. Kids, grandkids, great-grandkids even. Give them what for. Until they start looking at you with some odd kind of light in their eyes that signifies something you thought were long behind you. Respect, that's called, folks. In case you'd forgot. Skullgirls. Skullgirls. You see what they did there, folks? So did I. So did we all. Now, growing up in Shadow of Pendle Hill, local folklore dictates where possible options exist. One must choose witches, witch blood, and all and every potential spooky robot hybrid wearing similar headgear to the much maligned old girls. So here we are. Bonus points if they smoke cigars. And yeah, even if you get turned over pronto with some shadow hound wearing a lash-shaped windsock for a hat. Stick with it, and you'll soon be fighting some feisty feline. And more honourable stand-up Terry McCann on the cobbles base rules go out the door as you start filthy rucking, dirty dastardly, which really puts the cat in the bag, then sticks the boot in, until the tables get turned once and for all, and just like on mean streets of East Lancashire, you get your hat handed to you from some clawful chick who just lies there after, juggling her own head, etc. Now, as the absolutely ubiquitous retro 8-bit infused gear flies out at a rate of several per minute, it really does take something a bit special to stand out from the perfectly pixelated masses, and this is something special, alright. Anyone who can't dig, I say dig, some boss little battler pogo around in a smart tin suit on his little spade, bless him, wants a heavy word with herself, man. It looks the part, plays the part, flipping well is the part. Plenty to see, plenty to do. Tongue wedged firmly in the cheekiest of cheeks without the slightest whiff of an apology. So if you're one of these tiresome old, oh, when I were a lad, all this were cartridges, kind of king of boredoms, I don't bother with none of this modern tripe they knows, then you know what? This might well be the shiny fella to get you to stop acting the gormless old goat. As belters go, it's absolute, is this?